Hey, what's up guys? Carlton Stith here, and I'm going to give a little tutorial about Git and GitHub for beginners. Um, this is an introductory course and is not a complete introduction to Git. It's only to get your feet wet. So without further ado, let's get underway. So Git and GitHub is, first off, what's Git? Git is a version control system used by web developers and non-developers alike to create and track files. Git is better than FTP because what Git does is saves snapshots of your project within various stages of your project with a few commands from the command line, and you can save files, track files, you can push files up to the server. We'll get into all that soon. So why use Git? Git eliminates the risk of losing any changes that's made to your file, or if you're in a group setting, files within a group. So just say if you and three other people made a change to the same file. Now that can get confusing very quickly. So what happens is you can each make changes to the same file, and nothing is permanent until you guys agree on it. So your files are saved as snapshots at your request only. Nothing's permanent. Nothing can be undone. Um, Git is used by individuals working in teams, or even yourself if you're working on a solo project. If you're creating an app, a new JavaScript app, something in Node, you can create a project up in Git, push it up to GitHub or GitBucket, and save your use your remote repository to save the file. GitHub is cool. GitHub is a hosted repository service that is used to keep your files in a safe place. GitHub is social coding. Does it cost anything to sign up for GitHub? Absolutely not. It's free to sign up in a repository. It costs nothing at all. If your repository is public, it's free. Your repo is used to push changes, pull changes, to collaborate. People can clone your project and work on it on their computer and push it back up, and you can choose to accept or reject their changes. A private repository can be created, but it does cost money. Bitbucket.org, they you can create a private repo using GitBucket, which is this site right here. Um, I've never used that, but that's where you can create a private repo using Git and GitHub together. All right, you can create a project locally and use GitHub to create and to collaborate with your team or save versions of the project if you're working on a solo or on a group project. So, as I stated before, you can create a project, start working on it, and save your file and save different versions of it, so you never lose any changes that you make. Just say if you create a file and you want to change a line several days later, well, you can go back several days and find that file, and it'll still be there, kind of like Time Machine on a Mac. So GitHub is essentially social coding. There are repos everywhere. Like, let me just show you an example. Let me go to my GitHub page. This is my GitHub page, and there are GitHub repos from everywhere. I mean, you can see like they've got a brand new interface here. So icon fonts, Font Awesome is hosted on here. A List Apart has a repo on GitHub. So as you can see, there's a lot of social coding that's going on by some pretty well-known names in the dev community. Other people can clone your repo to their computer, make changes or add to your repo, and make a request for you to either accept their changes or deny their contribution. Nothing is permanent at all. So GitHub is great for open source projects. That's only if your repo is public. If it's private, no one will know about it. And some files you may want to keep private if you're working on something that is top security, like secret clearance type stuff, agent. So, I'm kidding. So if you're working on something that's really top secret, you might want to not push that out to the public. But if you want to create something open source, or if you don't mind people seeing your project files, which is totally cool, it's um, it's actually good for you and your project and your individual branding if you create your stuff public. Now there are several graphical user interfaces or GUIs that are available, but serious web developers should seriously consider working from the command line. If you're serious about your craft, you don't want to get caught in a GUI. I've used the GUI at first for about a day or two. I quickly got out of it and started learning Git. I'm telling you, you start using Git, it's more self-satisfying. Um, but if you want to know, there's several GUIs available. Like there's GitHub for Mac. Um, there is That's for Mac, and there's GitHub for Windows, which I have on my computer right here. So where am I? GitHub. There we are, right there. So there's the GitHub for the Windows computer, and yeah. So that's all I have for now. As I said, this is going to be a 11-part series, and this is just an introduction. So I'll see you guys in the next go round. Thanks a lot. I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.